us to talk about the markets as well as individual stocks. Hi Amisha, thanks for being with us. We have seen a pullback in the markets in the last couple of days. Do you think this is just a momentary pullback in an otherwise downtrending market, or have we put in place some kind of base for ourselves?
No, I think this markets, we always thought probably would remain little range bound. So I wouldn't really qualify a downtrending market or uptrending, but we thought that markets would continue to remain pretty range bound. 5,700, of course, it went little below that, and 6,000 was something which we thought would be the range. But I think in the whole process, couple of very positive decisions which were lingering for a very long time got cleared, and which of course will not have any immediate short-term impact in improving the business on ground, though of course market indices have gone up because the heavyweights got positive impetus out of that. But I think in the medium term it will have extremely positive impact on the economy and growth. So that was the only positive outcome of this entire global turmoil that we saw, which of course lasted little for a while, but gave shock waves in our markets and debt markets.
Amisha, hi, afternoon. What about the non-farm payrolls data which is out from the US? How critical do you think it will be in terms of a movement for the Indian markets, and especially maybe even the currency and the bond markets?
I think so. It will be important. I don't know how critically important state for Indian markets, but in whatever link that it works with, it appears that if they continue to strengthen, the job markets continue to strengthen, then it will definitely give lot of support to the argument that the tapering will be earlier than what was envisaged earlier or before, and which would mean for any high risk asset class or bond yields negative fallout. But having said that, and as what we were telling before, as far as India is concerned, the over dependence on foreign flows because of our current account deficit continues to be the underlying fact. Until the time we see a smoothening or softening currency markets, the rest of the markets will continue to behave little volatile based on how the currency behaves.
Okay, these are some important flashes coming in on your screen. It's actually an exclusive. The US FDA has spoken to CNBC TV18 talking about the increase in the number of foreign inspections that we have seen from the US FDA on many of the Indian pharmaceutical companies' facilities. On Ranbaxy particularly, this is important. The US FDA says that they have no evidence of data reliability issues at facilities other than Paonta Sahib, Batamandi and Devas. Remember, a couple of days ago there was a big knock on the Ranbaxy stock on the possibility of the Mohali plant coming under the US FDA scanner as well. But for now, the US FDA tells CNBC TV18 that Ranbaxy's 2 manufacturing plants remain under an ongoing review, but they have no evidence of data reliability issues at facilities other than Paonta Sahib and Devas. Do you think this would come as a relief to Ranbaxy?
Yeah, it would possibly act as a relief for Ranbaxy. Maybe the stock should come up for you, up around 0.7%. Like you mentioned, the Mohali plant was actually quite important in terms of any sort of US FDA issues coming up for that one. There were talks that maybe there would be a 483 which was issued on Ranbaxy sometime back on the Mohali plant, and if in case the US FDA itself has clarified that they have no evidence of data reliability issues at facilities other than Paonta Sahib, Batamandi and Devas, then that would come in as a huge relief rally for Ranbaxy, because that was one of the key overhangs for the stock, and you can see the stock spiking up at this point in time. The stock is currently up around 2%. They do mention that besides Gloversville, no evidence of significant CGMP violations at other Ranbaxy or OHM facilities. Remember, OHM facilities to hold the news flow, and this at least interim relief that we're getting in terms of the US FDA perhaps not looking at inspecting the other facility like Mohali.
I think this clarification on Mohali is very important. Though our discussion with company did reveal that they are not they have not seen any such information from US FDA. But a clarification to markets in general is very positive, because Lipitor is also being sent from here, and some of the other important products which are their first to file, like Diovan, also would not get now impacted, because there is clarity that Mohali works as it is, and Dows and Paonta Sahib will continue to be under vigilance or inspection or whatever as per the consent decree filed by them, which is, and the paid $500 million fine also. So I would think that it is telling that it is absolutely status quo and there is no negative development, though of course the stock price has reacted extremely negatively in last one and a half months through lot of media and news reports. But to me it suggests that there is absolutely no negative development. And in case, as what we've been hearing, or rather expecting for a very long time, Diovan to be launched, which is their one of the exclusivity product which has got delayed substantially. In case that comes, that would be even further positive, because one is expecting more than $500 million kind of contribution from that product.
Absolutely. Maybe the clarity on Diovan would now emerge, or Diovan generic for Ranbaxy would emerge with this clarification, like Amisha said. So Ranbaxy is currently spiking up around 3.7% currently for that stock. Important clarifications coming in from the US FDA that maybe they will not be looking at, or maybe there is no 483 which has been issued to the Mohali plant at this point. The stock is currently up around 3.4%. Mr. Tulsian, what would your perspective be on this? Do you think that this is enough for Ranbaxy to get back to those 400 plus levels that it was trading at firmly?
See, Ekta, in fact, too many negative news have
at the end of the month as well. In terms of a key determinant or trigger for the markets going forward, what would you most keenly be watching out for?
I think that in terms of expectations from earnings, there is hardly any, I would say, and also to some extent market is expecting that there will be some good amount of mark-to-markets, or adjusted PAT will be, reported PAT will be even lower than the actual numbers. So I think that results will be nothing much to talk about. And I feel that across sectors largely, except of course there would be some exceptions which are linked to monsoon, and some exceptions which are positively benefited out of currency trend. But for that, we think that it will be still the broad numbers on CAD, gold imports, policy announcement, and speed at which some of the large infrastructure projects which are stuck, how do we solve that, would be the ones which will keep deciding the direction of the market. Because for next couple of quarters, I believe that the ground reality will continue to be very challenging for businesses. And as we can probably keep seeing from auto numbers, cement numbers, steel numbers, the volume growth continues to remain very, very muted or impacted, and that will take time before it reverses. So the focus of the market will, I believe, continue to be A, of course, some of the global events, and B, the policy announcements.
All right, Amisha, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us and giving us your views. It'll be a disappointing day actually, not just for the equities but for the currency as well. So slipped below the levels that we closed at yesterday. Today has been very volatile for the dollar rupee. Initially, because of all that talk about dollar inflows, the rupee actually went to 59.19 and then sort of lost all that sheen, and now it's back at the low point of trade. We'll take a break and come back with the last 15 minutes of trade.
Sanskar City, Vrindavan, the eternal abode.
This is quite a revolutionary step.